What's going on, family and friends out there in the YouTube land? If you guys don't know me yet, my name is Henry Pinckney. I am the owner of this channel and the owner of the Monarchs Lounge Barbershop here in Ocala, Florida, mainly Marion Oaks. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and go ahead and share it with a friend that could really use this information. Regardless if you're a seasoned barber, a beginning barber, or just contemplating about being a barber, shoot, even if you just want to learn the skill at home just to save some money and some time, hey, this information is just for you, and it's for everyone that you're willing to share it with. Let's grow this channel to 1K. We're still on that road. All right, let's get right into this. Okay, so I have my longtime loyal client, Jacob, and he's been having issues on what to do with his hair. We've tried multiple scissor cuts and he just thinks it's too wild and it's too much maintenance. So he decided to go 8-guard buzz cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys my process of what that looks like with this textured hair. And this is obviously straight textured. So given that his hair is so thick and so full, I could see why it could definitely be a problem, especially if he's just a low maintenance guy. I could see how that would be an issue. So we're gonna go in with the 8-guard and we're gonna go against the grain. Even though his hair is long like this, you still want to be able to go against the grain because it's just gonna give a better quality cut and not damage your blades. So as you see, I'm picking up so that it's easy. I'm picking it up so that it's easy for my guards to go through. As you can see, that it's cutting through like butter. It's getting through the hair. We're not having any drag problems. And honestly, guys, hey, you can't hate a buzz cut. It's simple, it's to the point. For the people that are less, or that for the people that know less about scissors, I mean, this is definitely your go-to save your cut. I remember before I even got into scissor cuts, I used to talk my clients off the ledge of getting buzz cuts because it was more comfortable. So if this is the stage of barbering that you're in, hey, feel comfortable because there's so much room to grow. And also, I'm gonna have more scissor cuts coming in the future with my YouTubes. So if you guys want to know about complex scissor cuts, we're going to start from the beginning and we're going to work our way through so that we can execute confidently, because my channel is to instill confidence to make sure you guys know what you're doing. I remember in the beginning of my barbering stage where I used to turn down clients because I was scared of the texture of hair, man. So if you're finding yourself in that part of your career, the only thing I can say is go take extra classes, watch YouTube videos like this one, and save yourself some time. But here in the meantime, I'm just gonna go ahead and speed up this video until we get all this hair off. You kind of notice me go in different directions also because he got calyx. So when people have calyx growing out of different directions, you're gonna find yourself hitting it from different angles. So that's pretty common and that's normal. Also, make sure you're keeping your client's head up. Some clients have tendencies to keep their head down, but you know, if you want to save your back the pain, just, you know, you're gonna have to fight that fight until the client pretty much gets it. But yeah, you're gonna go ahead and start blowing the client off. Make sure you get all that stuff off because you want the client just as comfortable as you are cutting. This is just another gem that keeps people coming in your chair, coming back for services because of the little things like blowing the hair off because they're itchy. As a barber, you're not feeling that, but you know, if you got your haircut before, you'll know that, you know, that hair sits there and clients want that stuff going, man. It itches, it's crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna attack the whole panel, and we're gonna start with a 4 guard, and this guard is completely open. I'm sorry, this is a 3 guard. Yeah, we started with the 3 guard completely open, and we're just going up, and we're going straight to the ceiling. We're scooping out a little bit, but not much. At times this could be a very tight area because of the bone. His bone is lower in the back, so I'll have to bend his head a little bit forward, and then he has those dips. You see those dips? All right, so you're gonna have to basically, like the calyx, you're gonna have to go in different directions. Sometimes you're gonna have to pull that skin just to be able to get inside those ridges in the back, and I'll show you here in a sec when we get to that portion. But we're still going in with that 3 open, and we're going straight up vertically, and just scooping out ever so slightly, not too much. We're not trying to create a broccoli head. We're just trying to go and make sure that parietal ridge is nice and to the edge so that it blends in seamlessly with the top. Okay guys, we got an 8 on top, and we went in with our 3 open. Also, we just closed our 3, and we're just gonna flick that 3 into the 3 open, just securing our blend, making sure that parietal ridge area is ready for the blend from down to going up. And we're gonna use that same method when we started with the clipper closed, and then we're gonna work our way up all the way to that 1, and then we're gonna down fade, and you're gonna see what I mean here in a second. All right, so now we're gonna punch in our first guideline. As I always say, I like to do it with the clippers over the trimmer because it just makes getting that guideline out much easier. All right, so we're gonna start in the middle of the C cup area. I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna place another guideline in the back, starting from the middle at the back, and we're gonna work our way left. And where this corner is right here, where I'm tapping at, I'm gonna meet it right there in the middle. And this is gonna ensure that we keep our low fade actually low, because I know how hard it can be going in with these low fades with no method. You could easily push that fade up and end up turning into a mid fade, even a high fade, something that you're totally not trying to do. So this method, this little technique is gonna it's definitely gonna help you just keep a nice low fade, and you just kind of want to keep it parallel to the parietal ridge area, and then clean up as you go with the clippers, and then you can double clean it with the trimmers. We're going to spin this client around, and we're going to do the same thing, the exact same thing that we did on the first side. We're going to do it here on this side also. Like I said, we're going to go underneath the C cups, and we're going to just punch that guideline all the way through, and then we're going to make that connection meet at the end. All right, so the next step would be to put your second guideline in, and like I said, I like to fade between 2 panels, and each panel is between the ear. So we're starting on the panel before the ear right here, and we're punching in that guideline with a 0.5 guard. But I'm just gonna take it all the way around to both panels. Sometimes I take it half the panel, and sometimes I just do the whole guideline all the way around, and then I'll start doing my panels after I punch in this guideline. And we're just gonna make sure we keep everything parallel and symmetrical to the parietal ridge and also the guideline that we originally punched in. We're gonna make sure that you can see if the client's head is up when you're in the back, you need to push his head down, or let him know that you want to make sure this fade is flawless. So you're gonna have to tilt his head and just make him aware of that. You see how I'm tilting his head? It's so I can see. It's better that the barber sees than the client be comfy, or make a safe meeting in between both, because the barber has to be comfortable in order to execute great fade. So y'all have to meet somewhere in the middle. Once that guideline is complete, you're gonna take that 0.5 guard off and exposing a clipper all the way open, and you're just gonna basically nudge that 0.5 that you created. You're just gonna flick into that 0.5, and you're gradually gonna close it from half to close. So basically using the ends of your teeth, like I always say, use the ends of your teeth, not the full blade, just the corner of your blade, because this is a low fade, so it's gonna be a little bit tight. So you're gonna need less teeth so you make less error. So in doing that, you're gonna make sure that you focus on one panel, and now I'm gonna focus on this right side of the head. So we're gonna go ahead and start blending our original guideline out. So we're gonna start down here in the bottom where the problem area is in the back, and we're just going to use the corners of our teeth while stretching the skin as best we can and just flicking it. You know, you don't have to dig into the skin, because you know the blade has 10,000 RPM, so this blade's going to work on its own. You don't have to work the blade, just let the blade do its thing. We're going to go in with a one guard now, because we just completed that first guideline. We got that guideline out. Now we're gonna go in with this one, and we're gonna create that same shape that you have with that 0.5. We're just gonna like nudge it up just really slightly, not too much. You see I'm barely tapping it, and then you're just gonna go in the shape of a low fade. You know how a low fade looks in your mind, so you gotta basically set these little guidelines up to look like the blend, and then every time you etch up and blend into that first guideline before it, you're just basically fading it in, and it's gonna eventually look like the fade that you saw, or the fade that you're envisioning. A lot of this stuff has to do with envisioning and thinking, and that's why I always say, like, look at videos, look at these videos, look at other people's videos, get the idea of what a perfect fade looks like. And when you do these steps and they start to come together, you'll start seeing the results a lot quicker, and then your fades become more efficient. Another efficient gem I'm going to show you right now. So originally, you remember we started the side of the head with a 3 open. Normally I would go in with the 3 closed and then the 2 open and the 2 closed, but I'm literally going in right now with the 1.5 open. I'm going in open, and that's called guard skipping. So I'm basically floating that 1.5 into that 3 open, and now I'm taking my 1 open and I'm flicking that into the 1.5. So it's basically guard skipping, and then there's my 0.5 guard open, and I'm flicking that into the 1. So you just want to repeat these steps going all the way down. This is where you down fade, and this is how you keep the fade nice and low, and the shadow and the blend, everything nice and consistent. Alright, so now we're working on the panel behind the ear. So we're basically going to do the same thing with the 3 open. We're going to go ahead and run that all the way up, and we're basically gonna do everything we did in the first panel, which was run that guard up, which is the 1.5. We're gonna run it right into that 3 open. Okay, we're guard skipping, so we're trying to make time more efficient for us. So we're flicking it in there, and then we're gonna close it and flick that in there also. But you gotta also remember that when you're on that panel behind the ear, you kind of gotta bring the fade together towards the panel in front of the ear, just so that the blend runs consistent. You see how I'm running it towards the middle of the ear? It's because I'm connecting that blend, and that's what creates that consistent blend, or that some people like to say perfect fade. You're basically ensuring that you tie that blend from the front panel to behind the ear panel, and then same thing in the back and the other side panels. Alright, so now we're gonna make our way towards the back. Alright, so the same thing goes for the back. we're gonna run that. We already ran that 3 open up, so now we're gonna start right here getting that 0.5 out. We're gonna get that first guideline out of there, and this is the area I was telling you about, that you're gonna have to watch out for those deep indentions in the back. And you can combat that with just using the first 3 to 4 teeth of your blade on your clipper, and just you can get in those holes like that, or you can basically pull one side of the indention, and it'll actually spread that area, that taper area back there, like that indention. It'll spread the skin so that you're able to get that hair that's in that dip. I'll show more of a video where I can go deeper into that, because filming this video I wasn't thinking that far. But hey, like I said, we're on a journey, we're learning, we're growing, and you know, someone's gonna need this information, and the more I talk about it, the more I learn myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this video, because as you can see, I'm going in with that 3 open, just to ensure that, you know, our powder ridge is at the same height all the way around. And we're gonna do that same thing that we did all the way around. We're just gonna guard skip and down fade into the blend that's already there. And don't forget, guys, we're still using our lineup method from all the previous videos. You want to start with one vertical bar and then get the other, make sure those are lined up, and then we start doing our geometry and keeping all these symmetrical things in order. We want to make everything parallel, make all the C-cups nice and perfect, almost as if it were a real circle or half of a circle. We just want to ensure this, man, because like I said, I am aiming to boost my viewers and subscribers' confidence when it comes to barbering, or just knowing things about barbering. And if you're a barber, you know, I kind of want to level you up, and as well as me, because I'm learning at the same time, and I'm learning to be more confident with more and more videos, and it's just going to push me more in the shop. So this is a great thing, man. So y'all tune in and stay locked in. But yeah, we're working on that pencil now. We're gonna go ahead and same thing. We're gonna start with the vertical bars, and then we're gonna tie it in at a C cups. The client requested this, so whatever the client requests, you know, it's my duty to make sure I execute it with the best flawless technology. I mean, techniques. I'm sorry. But it's up to me to make sure I got the best flawless techniques, because you know, that's what keeps me in the game, that's what keeps me relevant. And there we have a finished product. Easy 8-guard buzz cut with the low fade. Tap in for more, guys. If you want more, please follow, support the channel, and I will give you my best to do more of these videos, more in depth, more education. And let's strive for that 1K, baby.